talking in the air about these things. Please don't get too worried. As soon as the com comes, we'll have a look at Wikipedia, we'll have a look at the site and all these things. First of all, I want to know, have any of you all edited Wikipedia before? How many edits?
Oh, very few, about 15, 20.
Okay. 15, 20. So all of you are newbies. Shall I take it and should I address at that point of time? Okay. Achha, yeah. In Wikipedia, it is very easy to edit. To edit, all one needs to do is press the edit button on top. That is English Wikipedia I shall be talking about. Same applies for all Wikipedias. You get an edit box. It shows what the previous text is on top and shows the place that over the text which is already existing, and you can amend it and type it. After you make that amendment or typing, it is almost like plain English. Almost. There are very simple markup. You know, when you see here the term markup, it sounds like some big, some computer language type thing. It's all bakwas. It is nothing. It is just some simple symbols. And the symbols are so simple that any person can do it. It doesn't require children at Wikipedia. For example, if you want to make something bold, around the word you just put 3 single apostrophes. So this becomes bold.
Good morning everybody. I am Mandar Kulkarni. I am a Wikipedian and primarily work on Marathi Wikipedia. Just before the session start, I would just introduce Ashwin. Ashwin is, first of all, is a Fauji Bhai. He is a Colonel Ashwin Bendur. So don't go by his kind of civil look and all that. तो मैं भी उससे डरता हूँ ज़रा वो कहीं गन वगैरह लेके आएगा तो. So okay, but he is a very good English Wikipedian. He is there in Wikipedia since year 2006, and he has, I guess, he has got more than how many? 19,000 edits in English Wikipedia. He also tries to edit in Marathi Wikipedia, but I normally reverse that because his Marathi is so great. So I don't entertain him in Marathi. So, but he is a master in English Wikipedia, so that is for sure. And we both are from Pune, and he contributes a lot to English Wikipedia, and he had done lot of editing in flowers and butterflies and all that, and also the most important military history. So you might, it sounds interesting that what is that military history? So take an example, like we had a war between kind of thing, India-Pakistan. So he's doing a lot of contribution and put the real stuff on the Wikipedia. So I think this is the introduction, I think enough for Ashwin. So over to Ashwin, and please go ahead with your session. Ashwin.
Thank you very much, Mandar. As Mandar mentioned, he is an administrator on Marathi Wikipedia and part of the Pune Wikipedian community. The Pune Wikipedian community is in full support of the Mumbai community in hosting this Wiki conference. And today, to help me, in addition to Mandar, is Mr. Shamal Lakshman Narayan. He is from Bangalore, and he is another great, or he is a great English Wikipedian rather than me. Shamal's specialty is biodiversity and natural history of India, and he has got tremendous contributions in the field. So the point is, we are not boasting or something or the other. The point is, there is tremendous amount of scope to contribute in the way you want. Everything in English, Marathi, Wikipedia, this field is right open for contribution. All you got to do is go and contribute. There are certain types of things which hold you back, some rules and all that. But other than that, those rules are there basically to help you to learn the game. Other than that, you can just go ahead and do a lot of useful contribution. Okay, now assuming that all of you all are new and you all are newbies, so in case I am giving basic information and you already know that, please bear with me. But I'll first of all introduce Wikipedia to you. Now Wikipedia, as you know, is a free online encyclopedia that anyone can edit. Jimmy Wales, made this statement. Imagine an encyclopedia where the sum of human knowledge is available to all the people. And that's what Wikipedia is all about. The free encyclopedia that anyone can edit. Can you notice here? It's written where the mouse is moving. And that's there it is. Now, the features of the main, this is the main page of English Wikipedia. This is a beautiful starting point. And the main page has a number of features which I just like to point out to you like a tour, The first thing is the Wikipedia logo. If you click the Wikipedia logo, you will always return to this main page. So that is a navigation aid. Besides that, there is a panel of links. These panels of links, most of the top part are the ones which are constant all the time, and based on what you are watching, sometimes the lower ones changed in a useful context. On the top, you see the welcome banner. That is because this is the first page, main page, which is welcoming you. And below that, it gives you some interesting things to read and explore which change on a daily basis. The first thing that you can see here is today's featured article. Now, featured article is a concept what Jimmy Wales was talking about. If you remember, he mentioned that a lot of the stuff there's a lot of stuff on Wikipedia and some of it is written really well. So there is some kind of a gradation for articles, and basically two levels are recognized. One is good article, where a person can improve an article to that level, and one person comes and checks it against the criteria. And after an article becomes a good article and wants to go higher in quality status, it goes to featured article. There are a set of very, very, very strict guys who check everything, right from punctuation to desktop publishing items and language and appropriate license, every possible thing that they can do to tear it apart. It's very, very rigorous. And once all that improvement is done, then it is either passed or failed. And featured articles, one in about 1100 articles in Wikipedia is a featured article. That's the ratio. And these featured articles are every day shown on the main page. So every day you will see on the main page a different featured article. Today's featured article is the Battle of Vukovar, which is a battle which took place during the war in Serbia, where the one where there was a lot of ethnic cleansing. So this is the article there. That dark text means that is the name of the article, and if you click it, you can go and read the article more. Or alternatively, if you read this paragraph and at the bottom you see that more, can you see that more here? Here, can you see this? This will allow you to read more. And reading featured articles is a good way to pass some free time and to learn more things, and just a sort of a time pass sort of thing, and explore knowledge. Now on Wikipedia you will find that some of these words are blue and the rest of them are black. That is the standard convention in Wikipedia for hyperlinking. But it doesn't hyperlink to an outer site that is outside Wikipedia. It hyperlinks to another topic in Wikipedia itself. And if you click that, you can go there. For example, it says the Battle of Vukovar was an 87-day siege of the Croatian town of Vukovar. So I say Croatia. What is Croatia? Heard of this country, don't know much about it. Let's see. And now you are leaving the featured article and coming to this page. And here you can learn about Croatia, which was once part of the old country of Yugoslavia. So that is how you use those simple blue links. But more on this kind of thing later. Let us go back to the main page. I'll just go back by pressing the history arrow and come back here. Similarly, they have got in the news. So a few news items get sort of a prominence and are placed there so that you can read more about them. We all have known that social media stuff like Twitter and Facebook are very prominent in Wikipedia, in the world, to give news and other things and all that. But many people don't realize that Wikipedia itself is an important way for people to get the latest news. For example, the Wikipedia articles on current news events are updated minute to minute. And they have this advantage over Twitter in the sense that after 15 minutes, if you see that article, you will see the latest information there. There are always editors who are coming in and placing links. So while Twitter may give you a small tweet which says what is the latest in happening, but if you want to read the entire thing and get the context, the most places, the correct place to come is Wikipedia. Some of the events where this has been done with great distinction and where there was mention is, for example, the Haiti earthquake. In the news, like I said before, in the news also, whichever are these articles, that one which is bolded text is the name of the article, or if you click on that bolded text, you will reach that article in question. There is another thing below it called on this day. So tells you that on this day, that is on November 18th, these are the following events which took place in the old years ago. And these are facts which are drawn from Wikipedia, historic things which may be of interest to you. Similarly, you will also find there's a do you know. From the newest article in Wikipedia, facts are selected by editors and put up here so that the people can see those facts. And those facts are then placed here, and some of them can be very, very, very interesting. And they have to come from the newest articles. They are not just from any article on that. That means whatever has been added in the last 5 days, basically that is the sort of a key things. There are quite complicated rules on this, but it is freshest and newest content only. Besides that, Wikipedia doesn't just have text, it has images also. So there is some of the best images go through a process, and then they are selected and they are known as featured pictures. So every day a featured picture is shown which is of high quality, not just from the photographic point of view, but also from the encyclopedic point of view. And there is a small write-up there, and you can read more about that picture also. In addition to that, there are lots of links which allow you to see other areas of Wikipedia, Wikipedia sisters projects, Wikipedia languages, and right on top also. Sorry, just one second. Here, this arts, biography and all. So all these quick links are available from the main page. Now, I had told you that you can edit the main page, edit any article in Wikipedia. But here you cannot edit the main page. You are doing view source and view history because you are not logged in. Certain pages are the showcase pages, so we can't have someone coming and editing the main page where everything is carefully selected and placed and someone just comes and does some vandalism. So there is a certain amount of protecting. But otherwise, in most pages, you can just go and edit. For example, let us go back to Croatia and see. Can we edit it? No. The reason for that is it's probably a main page article, and for that reason they have kept certain rights. The easiest way to get to edit any article is always to get rid of all these barriers is to log in. Once you log in and become a Wikipedia user, you will find that most of these restrictions go away. And it is very simple to get an account on Wikipedia. It is just like getting an account on any other site. What you need to do is just to go and get it. Is completely free. And what are the advantages that you get? That whatever are your edits, all of them now are controlled, and you can claim this is the work that I have done. And now you become a real entity, and people are able to talk to you, give messages, and you can converse with people. It gives you an online presence. There is no need for a real name, then you can use a handle. For example, my username is Ashlin. My first name is Ashwin. The L-I-N was because of my friend did not like the word Win because it was Windows oriented. He liked Linux, so he said, no, you can't have a username called Ashwin. You will put Ashlin. So I said, okay, whatever you say. So so you can have any kind of a username like that, and then you can go about editing it. And once you log in, then you will find that everything is much easier. There are a large number of advantages which you will come to know subsequently also. But at this point of time, we are in the business of just seeing what all are the parts of Wikipedia. We are now having a look at the main page. Let's look at some of the links on the left side. Please come in and join us. Here, now the links on the left side, the first one is main page, which you are already seeing. The second one is contents. Let's click that. Now Wikipedia points you to a page called portal contents. A portal is a sort of a gateway. It allows you to access to a lot of information. And here he is allowing you access to information on the general contents of Wikipedia. And he provides a lot of overviews, lists, indexes and other means to be able to go there. So you can use this as for navigation to find some content that you are interested in. Next one below that is featured content. I had mentioned to you that featured content is like what Jimmy said in the morning, the best of whatever has been written in Wikipedia. So here you will find all the best featured content, how it's accessible to you. And it's not just articles. If you see this small list here, it tells you what all are, what all things have been developed to the highest quality. Articles, featured lists, featured pictures, featured sounds, featured portals and featured topics. And if you notice one thing, featured content in Wikipedia, there is a write-up and there is a star. And if this star is there on the corner of the article, we'll go back and show you a featured article, then you will realize that, oh, that this article is a featured article, highest quality, best on Wikipedia. Let's go to one featured article. Let's take this one on nickel. Rani nickel. Can you see this particular symbol here on the corner? Here where the mouse is? Now that star is there. That star mentions that it is a featured article. It's one of the best articles. It's gone through rigorous checking and there's someone who's controlling this. So if you just go to Rani Nickel and say, oh, I heard that Rani Nickel can also be used for doing some XYZ thing and it is just a odd fact, out of place, out of context, and just you go and try to edit it, someone is going to come right now and revert it. Why? Because someone has developed this article, or many people have developed this article to be a beautiful crafted piece of work and they want to maintain the quality. But if you do a quality edit, the thing is adding great purpose. It is well referenced, it is well written, neutral point of view, meeting all the criteria and adding to it, then it may be permitted to be added. But even there, they've got a protocol on featured articles. They request you to first please discuss on the top page, then we will add it. Anyway, that is beside the point. The point trying to tell you is featured articles are extremely well written and they're protected by people so that the content is always of highest quality. They are much more trustworthy than the average article on Wikipedia. After that, the next one that we come across is current events. There are a group of Wikipedians who keep a lot of interest in current events in news. There is in fact a project also called Wikinews. And so a lot of that material comes into the Wikipedia, and this is the portal where you get access to some of these current events. For example, whatever is the latest going on, the most important things is shown on this complete page. And you can go and have a look at it and read if you are interested in something. It does not claim to be complete, but whatever is shown there has been developed to some kind of completeness. After that, it gives you random article. Now this is something for your time pass. Rather than wasting your time and just doing endless Facebook chat without achieving anything and all, you may like it instead on a particular day to just read something. Then you will say, Arey, how to read, what to read. Random article will help you and it will get you a random article. For example, our random article is Geographical Centre of Ireland. So someone wrote an article that where is the geographical center of Ireland? Which is the place we say, oh, this is the center. So now let us see with this article, is there a geographical center of India also? Oh, there are geographical centers. There is a category. Let's click that. Oh, categories. So the point which I want to show you is in any article here is that at the bottom of article there is a line called categories, and in those categories all articles which are similar are to be found. For example, if you came across the article Geographical Center of Ireland, the first question you ask, what's the geographical center of India? So where do you find it? So instead of doing search, just go and have a look at the categories, and he says, oh, geographical centers. That means all the geographical centers of whichever country in the world are there. So we'll go and click them and let's see if India is there. Oh, bad luck. Nobody has written this article. So would you like to write this article? You'll have to find the references, find that information, and you can create a new article and add it. It'll be quite interesting. Someone would be wanting to know what is the geographical center of India. I don't know how you define it, but it's there. Okay. Let's go back to where we come from. We were at random article. So let's go to another random article. Inspection time. Inspection time refers to the exposure duration required for a human subject to reliably identify a simple stimulus. So this is some kind of a scientific article which is there for you to read. But there's interesting thing here. There is something written on top here. What is this? What does this sign say? He says this article provides insufficient context for those unfamiliar with the subject. Please help introduce the article with a good introductory style. That was the problem. When I read that first line, I also didn't know exactly what field it was concerned with, how to explain to you further and tell you anything out of this article which I am seeing for the first time in my life. So that someone has identified that problem and put up a special sign there. So you may find that Wikipedia articles may have certain defects. Some of them may be incomplete information. Some of may have inadequate referencing. Some of them may not be written in a neutral point of view which we want to. So many times what happens is readers come across it, and when they see it, then they add a tag at the top of the article. So when you see that particular article, it serves a number of purposes. The first purpose it serves is that it warns us that this article may have some problems. So while that problem has not been solved, at least we are telling you, friend, just remember, take it with a slight pinch of salt as far as this aspect is concerned. The second part about it is regarding the action to be taken. Anyone who's interested and wants to remove this tag and look after this article, he says, oh, this is the problem with this article. Let me come and remove this problem, and then you can come and sort this problem out. This sort of process is called as clean up. No, the random article clicks, every time you click it, you get something truly random. It is not programmed or anything. Your own computer will send a request to that random article generator and it will send you back. There is no way on earth you can repeat it or get it. It is actually random. I don't know the exact algorithm they are using. So a mathematician or a computer guy may say, sir, how do you know it's random? It may be pseudo random. वो सब मेरे को नहीं पता. But as far as you are concerned, it is picking one article from Wikipedia, which we have no idea what it is, and giving it to you. Would you like to add something, sir? Aaj. Want to see one more random article? Persian keyboard. This chap doesn't even have an introductory paragraph. So random articles, when you come across them, you get to see a wide cross section of Wikipedia. And in random articles, you will come to know that people write about a lot of things that they are very passionate about. A lot of people are passionate about their home villages for existence. So you will find that especially lots of places in the West, very minute, and we may be having population only few hundred people, will have an article here. Over a period of time, even Indian villages and towns and all will be fully populating, and there will be thousands of articles like that on Wikipedia. Otherwise, you may find that there are lot of details about certain things that people are interested in, like for example, comic books or TV series or computer games or film actresses or Hollywood or Bollywood, and they are available in great detail. So random article, just clicking 20, 30 of them, it's a very, very interesting time pass. Don't have to read much, just read the top para. Fastest way in Wikipedia, read the top para. The top para is called a lead or an introduction, and the aim of the top para, below which is the small set of that indexes which is there and all, is to give you an idea what that article contains. It's supposed to summarize the article. In this case, this article for some reason doesn't have it. Now I don't have the time to find out what is the exact tag which I should add here, but generally a person would come and add a tag which said this article has got no lead or no introductory paragraph, and that's how the articles get these warning tags, and then some people come and whoever is interested in the subject comes and improves it and removes that tag and makes that article better. Okay, enough random articles for the moment. Donate to Wikipedia. Sorry, someone said something, some question from some side? Oh, acha. Yeah. If you, there's a click here called Donate to Wikipedia, and you must know that Wikipedia runs solely on donations by people like you and me. And they ask very small amounts. Nobody is asking for a $10,000 or a 1 lakh rupees ka donation. They are asking some small amounts. Typically in the West, they ask for $5, $15, $20, $30. Is whatever you can afford, whatever you like to give, please give. But it's important that every person, sorts of gives. So in India also they ask for a small amount of money, give 100 rupees, 200 rupees, that kind of thing, So you can donate whatever you feel like donating, and this is the page which permits you to do so. Yes.
When you say number 5 website, what do we mean?
Number of hits in the world, there are these sites which count the number of things, like Google is number 1. So down the list you will come, number 5 is Wikipedia. Okay, now after that we come to interaction. Now this set of links helps you to interact and learn more things. For example, help, a very important thing, especially as some of you are going to become new editors. So help, this is the first place to go for help. When you are starting to look into Wikipedia, and you must look into Wikipedia not just because you want to become an editor. It's very important for school children and college students and young professionals to know about all this. Why? Because then you can use Wikipedia as a more effective tool. It's not just good enough to know, I use Wikipedia. Yeah, you use Wikipedia in the sense you go there and click and read the article, but do you use it? Do you know much about it? So it's important to know all the characteristics, it's important to know how to get at that information, it's important to know how the information is organized. So you can detect the biases, you can detect the areas where work is complete, you can detect the areas which need improvement. All these you can have a better judgment. You know the terrain, know the country. So that's how, the help is the place which is going to help you get started to understand Wikipedia. And also not just understand about it, but more importantly to participate and interact. It's one of the rare things, in January this year we had a children's Wikipedia session, and all the children were 3rd and 4th and 5th standard, and we had the same problem, what we had in the beginning. That we couldn't get the internet up and down and all, and we could only get in the last half an hour. So for 45 minutes I had to speak to them. And one interesting thing that the child came and I started telling them, you can edit it. So the child was quite amazed. In that group of 50-60 races, you can actually do things to the program, and the program allows you to do things to it. So that was such an awesome revelation. We talk about the web and web 2.0 and all, but how much of the web actually allows you to go and change it? They're all serving you passive information. They're controlling that information and giving it to you. There is no interaction of any kind. Here that is not so. In Wikipedia you can go and change it, you can interact. And the most wonderful thing for that child was when we finally got on and we logged on, and she wanted to, I don't remember the child now, it was a young boy from Pune, one of the schools, 4th standard boy. and he wanted to add some information. So I said, what information do you know? Because I told him it's an encyclopedia and it has to be some information. So I said, I have something about Pune. So I said, okay, about Pune. So then we went to, then I asked him problem, then I probed, his knowledge, and then we went to culture of Pune. Then he said, yes, I know something which is not there. So I said, what? He said, nowadays the Ganpatis that we immerse during the Ganpati festival, they are being made from eco-friendly materials. And it was not mentioned. So I said, great. And I added that information there. Since he was a child, I didn't, go into the mechanics of telling him we need reference and that sort of thing. But it's a simple fact. Nobody is disputing it. You can just add it. Someone will come and say, okay, this fact should be referenced, and someone will provide the reference and all that. But the child was amazed, because I made him come and I made him type and we saved it, and there he had changed the world. And that was not what he had expected when he came for that session. He expected just coming, he expecting some stupid thing, which normally you get sent in summer camp for and all, and just sit and all that. And then the whole atmosphere changed, and then we had a poster competition, and there all the ideas came out, and there the real energy began to develop. So that was one of those great moments, Before that, everything was routine. After that, everything was electric and special. So here are all these links, and where you can go through all these links and learn about these things. Like the problem with English Wikipedia is there are so many editors, there are so many people, there are so many million page views that naturally thousands of issues come, people argue and this thing, so that's why there's a huge set of rules and all. But don't have to worry, don't get too obsessing about it. It is a learning, it's a discovery process. So you go, as you edit in Wikipedia, you come across the rules. And it is a hit and miss, or sometimes, like you get a rap on the knuckles and you say, okay, I must not do this kind of thing, and that kind of process, you learn. The next link after help is about Wikipedia. And here about Wikipedia it's important to read this, because many people have got lots of misconceptions about Wikipedia. What is Wikipedia? It is an online encyclopedia. It is not meant for your original research. It is for something which has already been discovered, human knowledge which has been, fairly straightforward, has been discussed, which is referenced, written in books, facts which have been proven to the rest of the world. Those kind of things can be here. It is not a yellow pages directory. It is not a place where you come and you push your point of view, whatever that point of view may be. So you must understand what Wikipedia is, and this article will help you to write it. Many people have lots of fundamental misconceptions about Wikipedia. One of very important misconception is Wikipedia is something like WikiLeaks. And some people are, think that Wikipedia may be owned by Julian Assange also. Sorry, Jimbo Wales, move aside. And that's the issue. People don't know. And this is the place where all these, these questions which you are missing, you can learn about these things. People don't know that there are rules about how Wikipedia content is supposed to be provided. Most important part of which is neutral point of view. It's to be written in some way. So when you say neutral point of view, you have to say it in a way where it is acceptable to both sides of the argument, where both of the parties are able to agree. There is no offense in the statement. Nobody's agenda is pushed by the wording of that statement. So that's what is meant by neutral point of view.
If you had one track changes, track changes, what is that when you use one?
Sorry?
You have to change.
Which is the one you keep track of changes. Oh yes, I was going to come to that, because I was going to first go to this, then I would take this. So first we went to the main page, we followed this, then I was going to come to this thing. Can you postpone your query for a while? I will explain to you what it is there. It will be coming. It is concerned with history. We'll be coming to it just as soon as we finish this. We'll go to an article, and then I'll show you the parts of an article. Okay. Then comes, after About Wikipedia, comes the community portal. Here is the place where you can interact with the rest of the Wikipedia community. This is the page where all these resources or these facilities are grouped together. And here they provide you all kinds of links. For example, if you are looking for help with an aspect of Wikipedia, see the help documentation or ask a question. So ask a question leads you to the page where you can type a question and ask it, and some volunteer will come and answer it for you. Let's go and see the ask a question, see where it takes us. So he doesn't take you to a place directly, but he takes you to a place where to ask questions or to make comments. Actually, there are many places to ask things. For example, the reference desk is a library reference desk which will help you to find information. And there is a general help desk where you can ask questions about Wikipedia, about how to do something or the other, and they'll do that. Then if you want to ask things from the community, there is something called Village Pump. So Village Pump in some communities around the world is a place where people get together and chat. In Western civilization, in the modern culture, it is around the coffee machine, vending machine, I suppose. So in different places, it is this thing. So here they have chosen a name and it's called the Village Pump. Mandar? Any Marathi Wikipedia here? Okay. After the community portal, okay, let's go back to the community portal. We've not fully seen it. See, there are all sorts of links and things available. The signpost. This is the internal newsletter of the Wikipedian community, written by editors. It has got nothing to do with the foundation. It is written by the editors only, and editors write the articles and provide the editorial content and all that. And this is made available, and it comes once a week, and you can read the issues and the latest news and all that. So there are similar other newsletters also on Wikipedia, but this is the one which is the main one about Wikipedia. Okay. Now, below the community portal, after the community portal is recent changes. In recent changes, this is one of the exciting ones, because the rest were all, standing resources, blah, blah, yeah, I am talking about. But this is an exciting place. Here you can track second to second what is happening around the world and see what people are editing. And at that point of time, that instant, it gives you a picture that these are the articles which are being edited. And all these have got some kind of a meaning which you will come to know. And once you get to use Wikipedia, you will realize and you will be able to make sense of this. For example, this link diff tells you what is the difference. That means what that person has made the change. Difference between the old page and what he has edited. History means what is the history of that page. Then here is the name of the article. Soundware Australian Music Feeling. And this is a particular time at which he edited, and this is edited by an unknown IP from this particular one, and generally then some kind of a detail is available about what was the kind of edit from the edit summary if it has been made. So this is how you can do. Now if we refresh this page, we will find that it will go and something totally different will come. Yes, anyone can come and see it. It is there, link is there.
Not logged in.
Yes, I am not logged in as of now. Anyone can come and see. It's always available here, and you can just keep track of the latest changes which are there. It is not necessary to log into Wikipedia to make an edit, but it is always preferable to do so unless you have a very good reason for not wanting to do so. After recent changes, then the link is contact Wikipedia. And here, whoever different classes of people for different reasons, wherever you want to sing, and you provide the details. Now, we'll leave out the rest of the things below here. Similarly, there are more something called a toolbox. What links here? So it says which are the articles which are linked to this article. That means this article's name is found on that article's page. Then is related changes. Now just like I showed you recent changes are all Wikipedia edits at all time. So anyone is doing these changes are being shown here. But related changes means all the articles which are linked here. Suppose there are 20 articles linked in this article. So out of these 20 articles in this article, what are the changes people have made? Related changes. After related changes, then you can upload file. Suppose you want to add some image. So there is a link for it. Yes, please.
You talk about the community group, right, in which you can have all the substance talk about the same content, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a feature, maybe I'm not addressed with that, but is there a feature in which on my own website I have some wiki content pulled which can be updated on a regular basis as the wiki gets updated by different users? Kind of RSS feed.
Yes. Many sites on Wikipedia are mirror sites of Wikipedia information. Even Facebook has got pages which it pulls from Wikipedia. So this is a fairly standard thing done by lots of them, and they portray themselves as if they are the reference site and all. They are doing no work. They are just pulling Wikipedia content and doing it. Wikipedia provides for it. That is available. The only thing is that you can't edit the site there. Your editing will be done on Wikipedia only, but it will pull up the latest one on a real-time basis. That means when you access it, that time it will pull the latest version of the article.
Is it the same format as my own website?
Depends. There is some amount of cleanup is done. They get rid of the top banner and this and that and all, but then keep only the general information, so as to make it look as if it is their information and not Wikipedia's. Some of them do give the disclaimer and all the sign that it's from Wikipedia and all, which is supposed to be given, but some of them don't.
One more quick question, with your expertise on this, how is it just small-time business folks who are running the small businesses or like SMEs, they are definitely using Facebook for their own web pages, you can come and like, can they use Wikipedia somehow to have more discussion?
Yes, please.
Yes, they can. And if they want to use it in multi-evening languages, they can use that as one of the processes that will get you the latest localizations from your language into that business and into the installation. And we really love people to use for any type of goods. So you can use it wherever you like for whatever purpose you like. And it's all kinds of organizations that use it. I mean, we rely on being told that the CIA uses Wikipedia, so if they can use it, I can't do use it for any countries.
Yes, but now let me just put the other side of the coin. You're a small shop or you're a small thing. You're not a notable player. You're just a small little business. So I say you're a pizza business in Pune or some such thing like that. Then if you're not notable, if you're not the number one pizza business in India, then you have no business being on Wikipedia. So if you write that, Ashwin's Pizza is important pizza joint in Pune and all that, someone is going to come here and say it's not a notable article and just tear it right off. The second thing is that if your website, for example, your website and it contains some information on that, most of the cases, unless there are some standards and some qualitative requirements laid on for what kind of external links are permitted. So self-published sources like blogs or many cases some obscure websites and all which are advertising themselves rather than giving useful content. Those kind of things are frowned upon and not taken out. So the scope is not like Facebook and other places give you direct marketing tools. Wikipedia doesn't give you a marketing tool. It's not a marketing platform.
One point I would like to ask.
Yes, please.
Wikipedia has some pages like the first ladies of the United States and the wives and daughters of Czech president and all those type of things. The point is being somebody's spouse or being somebody's daughter or son that important that you should be mentioned in Wikipedia or pages to be dedicated to?
Yes and no. Yes, it is so, especially because whose spouse are they? It's not your spouse or my spouse which is being mentioned. It is the spouse of the first, it is the country. The country pays a huge amount of money to protect that person. That person plays a role in the protocol organization. There is an official status given to the wife of a head of the thing. So yes, it's a person. See, in that sense, that if a person is appearing in the press and he is featuring in the books and in the magazines, prominently and the name is bandied about and it is known around the world, then that topic generally belongs in, or that person belongs in Wikipedia. So there is the word about that notability. You'll have to read those things to say that. So it is a viewpoint of yours that but there may be people who are interested in knowing. Who wouldn't like to know about Hillary Clinton? I mean, sorry?
There's enough interest in those names to warrant a page like that.
Yes. So the key which is there in these cases is notability. So the key principle which applies in these is notability. So if a person is notable, his page will be kept. If his person is not notable, it will be deleted. After that, then the other rules come in, which is are you doing advertising or promotion, or are you being unfair to it? So there is a whole project, wiki project called Biography of Living Persons (BLP), where they have laid down all sorts of guidelines so that whatever is there is done in the most appropriate manner possible.
When do you call it notable? And who decides what is notable?
Yes. So if you go to that particular, we'll not. This is a topic beyond the scope of the thing, but just for information, if you go to Wikipedia and do search about notable, you will land up that in the resource and you will be able to read it. You will have to get a little bit into the details of it. So I will not go into that anymore. And these are discussed between the people who write the article and the people who may object and all.
Distinction is to be maintained between notoriety and if the person is notorious. Then definitely Wikipedia should distinguish from the notable person and the notorious person.
See, Wikipedia does not make notoriety is a point of view. So one man's freedom fighter is another man's traitor. So we cannot pass judgments on this, a neutral point of view. So notable is more correct as a guideline to use rather than notoriety.
Actually, I was wondering, the largest pizza chain in Pune probably does not need Wikipedia to get known by others.
Sorry?
The largest pizza chain in Pune, we were they do not need Wikipedia to reach the message to many others. Instead of that, maybe other people, smaller people do need.
Well, this is the Wikipedia is not meant to be a business directly.
Okay.
It is meant to be an encyclopedia. And while I agree with that, list of pizza chains should not be there almost at all, but people will want to know about Domino's or maybe of this thing or whichever is the largest brands and all, because they will be involved. For example, suppose tomorrow someone says that McDonald's has good beef or whatever. People will come and see, oh McDonald's, let's read about McDonald's. So in that sense, so people want information about it in that sense. But it will not contain the menu of McDonald's. It will give some facts about the history, development, this, that, we want that kind of things. So in that sense, can we please move away from this topic back to the beginning one, because there are a large amount of people who have been patiently listening, who I'm sure would like to go on. Here, thanks. Wikipedia notability. Here is that page, and here is the guideline, and it says notability is a test used by editors to decide whether a topic can have its own article or not. Information on Wikipedia must be verifiable. If no reliable third-party sources can be found on a topic, then it should not have a separate article. And this is the problem which we face in India in a very different context, because there are so many issues of Indian things which are not necessarily very well reported in the print media or on the published media. Some daily facts of human life, like some of the children's games which are played. So unless there is some sociologist who's gone and written a thesis on the children's games which are played, so all of us may have played some kind of hopscotch, but it's not mentioned there. So certain facets of cultural life, village life, etc., may not be there, or may be there represented without references. In such cases, mostly people don't challenge it, but where it is controversial or where people feel that this is there's something wrong with this information being here, then they can challenge it, and then they can put up sites which says citation needed or unreferenced for the whole article. And then someone is supposed to come and provide the references. And if the references are not provided over a decent piece of time and someone is still objecting to him, unreferenced articles which have been contested can be, or that even those facts can be deleted. Okay, now below that there are some more links. That means print export, create a book. That means you can collect a series of Wikipedia articles and compile it into a PDF book. For example, suppose you are interested in chemistry of the elements. So there are some ready-made books which are collection of the Wikipedia articles on all the elements of the all the chemical elements, or maybe someone wants to see all the states of India, and you can collect all of these articles and select them, or your own collection, whichever way you want to define it, and have them this thing, and it gives you, assembles a book, and you can download it as a PDF. So this is a wonderful facility of Wikipedia for suppose you are going somewhere and you need to collect some and take some little bit of information where you are going, and you are going to a place which is offline, and you know that you may require this information. Download those 10 articles, make a book and take it along. Download as PDF. This current article can also be downloaded as PDF, and third one is printable version. But all these are generally standard sort of thing, but here is where the really exciting thing comes: languages. And when each of these links, which names the language here, is a link to this page on that language Wikipedia. Now we said that notability is a guideline in this, but suppose you want to say, okay, notability in English I know, but what is the German guy going to say about it? So we go to Deutsch and just click it, and you will come to the German Wikipedia page on notability. Actually this is a guideline, so not so interesting and useful. So this is the German guideline. Let's do the other thing around. Let's go and see an actual article. Would someone like to suggest an article? Mumbai. Oh, is that a star there? No, that's a plus sign green with a circle around it. That means Mumbai is a good article. It has not yet been developed, or as of now it is not developed into a featured article, which is the very best of writing. And here is Mumbai, and this is the article on Mumbai, and let's see which all languages Mumbai is available on. Lots of them. My God, it's going on and on and on. Can't count. Okay, in which language would you like to see Mumbai's article if it's there? Sorry? Areva. So this is the article on Mumbai, which you can, shall I increase the font slightly? No. This is written separately, it's written differently, it's written by Marathi Wikipedians. This is an article by Marathi Wikipedians on Mumbai. It is not the English translation of the English article. Everyone writes separate articles on their languages, though they do take information from other languages, and that is also a good thing to have. Because the problem that we face today is that if you add a fact in English Wikipedia, that fact is not added all over the world in these 269 language Wikipedias or something. Very good this thing. So now then the question is, this needs to be put to Marathi Wikipedians, and someone needs to, or who is interested in Mumbai, please make it your business. Now in the Wikipedia world, we say the person who who notes that observation is the person who is interested in it, and obviously he is the person who is going to do something about it. So we'll expect, sir, that you will go into the depth and find the reference, and since anyone can amend Wikipedia, you will amend and put the correct figures. Sorry, this is not a starred article. Which one, the Marathi one? Okay. So in that case, that what you will need to do is that if rather than directly editing the starred article, no, it's not written like that. It's half a star. He says, हा लेख ऑक्टोबर 15, 2006 रोजी मराठी विकिपीडिया वरील मुखपृष्ठावर सदर होता. That means it was on the main page of Marathi Wikipedia. So the star generally comes somewhere here. So it is not a featured article on Marathi Wikipedia as of now. Well, if you are from Mumbai and you feel what nonsense, then please come here, please work, please make it into a featured article. Who's stopping you? Sorry? They're just using it as some sort of a symbol to say that it came on the main page. The problem with the smaller Wikipedias, what happens is, in English Wikipedia got thousands of featured articles, but these smaller Wikipedias just don't have enough article to give featured article for each day. So they have purpose to select articles, normal articles which they feel are good enough, are well developed and feature them on the main page day after day. So, and that is one of the aspects of growth which Jimmy was saying. When there are only 30 editors, you can't follow the English Wikipedia model. You have to follow a simpler model of their kind. So, yes, please.
How does the translation happen? Is it dynamic, or you already have Hindi?
There is no translation. This is a separate Wikipedia. This is a Marathi Wikipedia written by Marathi Wikipedians using an Indic language keyboard. Yeah. Referencing is a major problem as of now, and that problem has not quite been sorted out. And most of the cases in Marathi Wikipedia also, you will find that the references will be in Marathi. Here I don't know what exactly Sandarbh is reference, but someone has put a sign there, ref cleanup. So someone is probably doing something about it and doing it. Now English Wikipedia is developed so that it's got referencing down to a fine art, but many of these facilities are not yet up in Marathi Wikipedia. And there is some debate on in the community also. Should we have, say, just pick the English reference and put it here only? You just copy paste it and show it in English. How does it matter? Or should we translate it? Or should there be a different system and all? It is a small Wikipedia. It is as of now got only about 30,000 articles. So it is 0.101% or something of the English. Yes and no. So I'll just modify your query a little bit. Is that you can use references from any place, but firstly that it should be a reliable source. It cannot be a self-published source. For example, ashwinbaindu.wordspot.blog can't be used. Second thing, certain sites have got licensing requirements. Certain sites may permit you to public domain information where you can just cut and paste and do whatever you like with the information. We are very particular about licensing and these things. So if you want to take information from a site, the best practice for anything is take the information, paraphrase it, merge it into your text and give a properly cited inline reference to where you got that information from. Preferably, we would like that the information should not be from a paywall, behind a paywall or wherever this person can't see. But then there are so many books you and I don't have also. But sometimes you can't avoid it, and that is also acceptable. Yeah. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But then you have to just be careful with Encyclopedia Britannica that their terms and conditions are acceptable. Yeah.
One suggestion, yes, you can use Britannica in that way, but research shows that the information in the English Wikipedia is better anyway. So why not use the English Wikipedia as your source?
Yeah, if it's not available there or something like that.
Well, typically,
everything will be available.
in the English Wikipedia you have many more articles. So chances of something being in Britannica and not in Wikipedia are slim. Relatively interested. We write our articles and Wikipedia is much broader in what it publishes about. Britannica.
Is this the article you wanted to have a look at? Radio navigation or radio navigation, one word, is the application of radio frequencies to determine a position on the earth like radio location. It is a type of radio determination. Okay. Now, here in the opening paragraph of the lead, where he is told basically there are no references. Okay. Now, same information we find here that there are no references. Gosh. There are very few references at all, except that someone has taken and said external links. So whoever has developed this article has used some materials, but he has not bothered to place them here or reference them. So in that case, one action is urgently required. Maybe, we don't know, we'll have to check it up. But he has not mentioned it in the term of references, he makes them as external links. External links, I was going to come and tell you, is place where you can find more information rather than the same information. So we will add something called a template here and put it. And call it unreferenced. And this is the the box where I said now whether editing takes place. And here we have to give small edit summary. That means what change have you made? You have to tell everyone. It appears in that history where I told you. So the edit summary is very important. You have to write a short sentence or a phrase or a paragraph or a word or an abbreviation which tells what you did. So here I'll say added unreferenced tag. So anyone can understand that what edit I made, what change I made to the article. That means at this point of time, this anonymous IP added an unreferenced tag to this article. And now what happened to the article? Has it got saved? No, it's saving still. Lo and behold, what does it say on top? The article does not cite any references or sources. Please help improve this article by adding citations. So there is a genuine problem being faced by that gentleman at the back. He's looking for information. There seems to be a lot of information. But how do you verify it? So someone has bothered about it. Probably the article may have been written at a long time ago, at a point of time where the person was not educated so much on the need. You see, when I started educating in 2006 and all that, nobody ever asked me about a reference. And all of a sudden around 2009 onwards, I came to hear these terms. And in 2010 and 11, I really learnt about all, plagiarism, copyright violations and citing and references and all these things. And now they are sticklers for all this because people have the same kind of complaint that you have about Wikipedia. Arey, how do we know whether this article is reliable or not? We don't know. Someone has written it. You can take it as a starting point for information. And you can make out that there's a problem because we put a tag. But sometimes what happens is you find an article and it's got a lot of references. Now the references are able to give you the list of the place where they got their information back. So you can go back and check from the references if you want, or see those references to either get information to that access to that information, or you can go and get those references to check that the references contain the information which is there or not. So that helps in a very important feature of Wikipedia, which is verifiability. The references are required to see that the fact what we have said, is it there referenced, is it mentioned in that place, and how is it mentioned?
That's the thought for this. I'll connect this. The power is going down.
Sorry, I don't know. I mean, someone else is better. Yes, please.
How to remove this tag?
No, you should not omit this tag unless you solve the problem. So if you want to solve the problem, sir, you can go back and edit and remove it also. Sorry?
If I add a problem, then I can remove this tag?
Yes, but then you must not edit it unless you solve the problem for the complete article. That means every paragraph, see what happens is in radio navigation is not something that you and I know. Most of the information on that will need to be referenced because it is not common knowledge. It's like if you got an article which says sky is blue and water is wet, or such standard things, you are not going to give references for such facts or things which are of common knowledge. You are going to give facts which are assertions of either their different things or their complicated things or their controversial things or their that kind of stuff which is specific. Yes, this needs to be told because this people may ask here, how are you saying this? So only those kind of information needs facts. But an article like this will need at least 20 or 30 inline references for him to have some faith that it is reliable. Do you agree?
I agree, and sir, the basic problem is like this is a less studied topic, studied only by the particular profession, and only few publications have actual books on it. So if I get reference from that particular publication, like Oxford or Jefferson, and write down or edit something there, can I give the reference that I have taken it from Oxford or Jefferson, or it will do some copyright infringement?
No, of course you have to do that. That is what you're supposed to do. If you take it from them and you don't say where you got it from, that is plagiarism.
So I will have to give a reference.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Any problem of copyright infringement in that case?
See, copyright, you must understand what is plagiarism. Taking information from somewhere and not saying what is the source. What is copyright violation? Taking that chap's language and using it same way. Even if you are citing it, you cannot take the same 10 words he has used and cut and paste that line and add it. You have to rephrase it. And that is the value of encyclopedia. You know that when I mentioned to you that it's important for school and college children and all that Wikipedia is important. So when I give a lecture to college students on the importance of Wikipedia, I say they develop skills which the normal education system as of now doesn't give you. What? Firstly, it recognizes you come to know a hell of a lot about these things which otherwise you don't come to know at all. I went through this whole educational system till I reached in the MPhil, and I was frankly, if it hadn't been for Wikipedia, I was generally clueless about reliable sources, about the need for referencing, why and when referencing should be done, how it should be done, what are the issues involved, what is plagiarism, I didn't know, what was copyright violation, I didn't know, what is the importance of these things, nothing was known to me. I just knew that okay, I will just add this one here and you write a source. That was all that I knew about referencing. But the rationale, the need for it, the importance, how to do it, how to detect whether it's properly done or not, good practices, nothing was known to me. I learned all that through Wikipedia. So this is really, really important if you're a college student to edit Wikipedia, because it gives you skills as of now which the current establishment, for reasons of its own or for separate reasons, are not able to give you. Shall we move on, please? Yes, there's one. Yes.
So what should I do? Should I put a reference of the person and link it up to a video where the person is talking? How should I make the practical analysis? How I
Would you like me to answer from the encyclopedia point of view, or would you like to take up oral citations? Okay, this is a little bit of a problem from 2 points of view. First thing, that is a person, you or mine, saying so, we are not an authority. What is an authority? In the academic world that we understand, a published book is considered to be an authority. And most public books, when they go through the process of publication or an article is published in some magazine, there is some kind of a review process. In the case of the book, the publisher may refer it to some other author and say, is this okay? If this book is about biology, he'll refer it to some scientist or some famous biologist and say, is this generally okay? Should I publish this? There is some kind of, always there is a kind of a check done by the publisher, so that he doesn't just, you give him a manuscript and he likes it, he wants to publish it. Let's say, so he checks it from something. So that review process is very important to make sure only quality and correct stuff comes. Same thing comes with the scientific references or any paper which is done. There is a peer review process before printing in the journal. These things ensure the quality. But if someone just told you something or the other, how can you judge the quality? We can't. What you have actually is something which is called a primary source. The gentleman has told you something and you've taken a video of it. Fair enough. Now, primary sources have got their own uses. In academia, a person who is writing an article on freedom fighting of India, he will look at all the primary sources and he will use those quotations and material which you have done and come to some sort of judgment using arguments and other facts to support it. That primary source is useful to him, but not useful for us, because we are not passing judgment. We want already verified stuff. We want second party and third party sources. We don't want primary sources. We want secondary or tertiary sources. So we want a book which already says that what that chap said. So if what that chap said is already in a book, we'll quote the book, but we cannot quote him. Now the other problem is a rare information about not being in books and all. Maybe afterwards you'd like to just speak with Achal. He's got an ongoing project called Oral Citations, which is tackling this issue in a different way.
We'll be here tomorrow in the same room at 3 o'clock.
Achal will be giving a lecture on oral citations at 3 o'clock in this same room tomorrow. So you please do attend that.
3 o'clock.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I just have a basic question.
how is Wikipedia protected from, say, nasty changes or unacceptable quotes or sentences?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
How is it protected? You said it's not peer reviewed. Yeah. But then how is it protected from some nasty references or something that is bad content, controversial content? Who protects all this?
It is done by people like you and me. And as a result of which, in most articles, a person is supposed to add some information, supposed to provide a reference.
Yeah.
There have been cases where people add references and they may, select references, cherry pick references, or they select only parts of that thing and go through. These are very difficult things to find out and all, but there are people who are concerned about their point of view. So someone from the other side, opposing point of view, will come forward and he will see, this chap has written something, is this correct? He may have quoted a reference. So you go back to the book and open that page and say, this is what you're saying, but this book doesn't say exactly what you're saying. Sorry, friend. And then you will delete it.
Under Wikipedia, you are under free encyclopedia.
Yes.
That is the block for me. And though I don't have a right or the power to edit it, but I would suggest that it should be the people's encyclopedia, so anybody can access. Otherwise, free and priced one makes a confusion to the people.
So the word, when you say freedom, this term is not so much from the money point of view, it is from freedom. Free. So it is free, that is as in move, not as in move. That means free as in freedom of speech. Not free as in free here.
The kingdom has vanished. Only the freedom remains here. And the freedom, the power of king is now in the people. And this is people's encyclopedia where people can go and edit. Okay. But then free and relating it freedom creates a sort of wrong nostalgia.
No, I don't think so. I mean, that's not been the case. This is your interpretation I'm hearing for the first time. So I don't think that's the case. People are understanding that free means not free cost, but free.
And nothing is free in this world. Nothing is free in this world.
Wait a sec. One of the important things of it being free is that you can take all of a Wikipedia, put it on your own blog or on your own system and continue doing things with it. This means that it's completely free for you to do whatever you like with it. Yeah. That does not mean that you are free to do everything that you like on Wikipedia, but all the contents and everything that you want to do is there for you to use in any way that you see fit. If you take Wikipedia and put it on your own blog and on your own system, by all means do that. That's your freedom. You are free to do that. That's what it's all about.
It's a misuse of the word of free or freedom.
No, it's not.
It's a liberty, libertine. You can't make it a liberty. Okay, let's not discuss that. It's a not liberty, freedom is also different. And equating it with the kingdom is not at all permissible. The point is that if it is people's encyclopedia, then all sorts of rules, regulations, although they all remain in the domain of discipline and rules, but still, the word free makes a...
What you're confusing is freedom with anarchism. You are free to do within Wikipedia, within the rules that it has.
Freedom, liberty, independence, all these words are...
That's true. As in the word free can have different meanings in different contexts. So let me give you an example, right? And if I say free lunch, it means something, right? The word free means something. But if I say free speech, the word free means something, right?
But so no free lunch.
Yeah. So in the context of when you're understanding Wikipedia, you must understand the word free in the nature of free speech, right?
That I am understanding, everybody is understanding. We are not that non-intelligent people. But the point is, my hunch, my gut feeling says to use the free encyclopedia because knowledge is free. People say you are going towards free knowledge. Yeah. But then it should be some value. The value will be attached to knowledge only if it is.
So let's not be discussing this
because not because we have already experimented free education. Spending a lot of funds on free education. Still nobody is taking free education.
I get your point.
I just had one question. I'm a journalist, and often you all have references to newspapers. newspapers, right? Now sometimes
Why are you discussing all
two
this?
newspapers may have two different facts stated. So how do you have like a hierarchy saying that okay, Times of India is a more credible source than say India or Mumbai Mirror, or do you say that okay, the Hindu is a more credible source than some other tabloidish paper? Is there a hierarchy where you are named newspapers?
Yeah, so this issue is tackled by two policies. One is NPOV, which is no particular point of view. No, you don't try to push a particular point of view. So if you have two opposing views, you cite them both. And it also means what is reliable for a certain context. So for this radio navigation for article, you wouldn't actually like to use a newspaper report, except perhaps maybe if there was a news report about a ship colliding with some other ship because the radio navigation went faulty. So for that news item, you could use a news report. So it depends on what context, what is the thing that you're citing. So if you're looking at an international event and then you're looking at a local newspaper, it may not be the most appropriate source for certain things. So there are policies called no undue weight. So even if you find a single book which has a very peculiar point of view, that is, and you're saying that your entire article is based on one single book which has a very peculiar slant, then you are actually giving undue weight to it. So there are policies that balance out all these issues. Okay, I'm Shamal. I'm just taking over because Ashwin's not feeling too well. So I'll try to continue from where he left off. There's a question somewhere?
Please show the procedure how to contribute. Yeah. And secondly, why a person should contribute to the Why?
Okay, I think I'll leave the why question to maybe. I don't think it should be necessary to say why and why not. So there are two reasons. One is an altruistic reason, and then you can also have fundamental philosophical view that information should be free and that we should be talking on equal terms. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so there are two parts to it. There's a philosophical argument which is that information should be equally accessible to all and that all are equal in essence. And there is a altruistic point of view where people who are in privileged places, for instance, living in universities with access to academic databases, they can actually do a nice job of synthesizing the available information and making it more easily accessible to less privileged audiences. Yeah, so I think what Ashwin was trying to tell you was about all these links on the sites, and he wanted you to create a login. I'll create in order to create a login, you just have to give in your login name and your password. Wikipedia is considered one of the sites that takes the least amount of personal information. And if you want, you can also give your email ID. And if you do so, other editors can actually communicate with you through email. You can also have email alerts coming sent to you about the articles that you are editing. So I'm going to just use a ID that I already have. Oh, it's logged in. Okay, so I have my ID and I have my login. And the moment you get a login, you get several new features. One is if you're working on various articles, you know the articles that you have contributed to. You can go and see my contributions on the top right corner, and you can keep track of what you have done. And second is the articles that you have edited, they are added to what's called a watch list. So you know what's the progress on those articles, you know what other people have done. Unfortunately, I edit mostly on biological topics, and so if you look at this, I have a list of various species of butterflies here that I've got, and so I can see what I did on a particular article on 23rd June. So I can click on that diff and I know what was done. So I know that on that day I replaced a certain image in this article with another image. So let me go and edit an article. So one thing that you can do is after you get an ID, you can go to your user page. So you get your username, and if you click on the username, you can actually write something about yourself. And you can also do various editing tests. So if you see over there, Ashwin was trying to explain the formatting methods within Wikipedia. So all you do is, if you want something in bold, you write this is in bold. It's 3 single quotes around the text that needs to be bolded. And this is in italics. And you can also use these, if you have JavaScript enabled, you can use some of these tools. So you select the text that you want, and then you hit this. But over time you realize that it's much faster to just put in 2 single quotes. And if you want it in both italics and quotes, bold and italics, then you put 3 plus 2, 3 plus 2 quotations. And you can see what happens by looking at show preview. So when you click show preview, you can see how the text looks. Okay, this is how it would look, and this is the code that went behind it. Okay, the other important thing that you need to know is what's called a footnote tag. So you have something called a ref tag. So you write ref, and this, I'll just put in a little footnote. This is a footnote, and I close this with a ref tag. So it's very similar to this. This is a little arcane for people who are not used to editing, and so you can also use something here which says cite. So this is the alternative, but I'll just show you what happens when I put this ref and I try to save this page. So typically you first go through this preview, see if everything is okay, and if you're fine with it, you go and commit it with a save. And now that's what has happened. There's a footnote here. Okay, there's a footnote marker, but there's no footnote, and there's this red warning. So typically articles will have a block of text at the bottom which says references. So I'm going to add that block here. So which is references, or I can say footnotes. And every section starts with this 2 equal signs. Okay, so you put in a section marker, and after that I add a little flower bracket. In general, already developed article would have all these things in place, so you wouldn't be doing this, but I'm just showing you a skeleton article. I'm doing it in my own user space, which is my user page, so nobody is going to object to doing tests over here. If you did this in an article, people would revert it and say you've done a test edit.
Is this just that we are editing only on the written part of it? Because I think you are covering subjects like dance, and you have just had images, and dance is a movement actually. So when you talk of technology and terminologies of dance, we find that the dance movement is not seen.
Yeah.
So how does one edit on the movie? How do you make it into a video kind of a film?
We'll look at media in a few moments. So I'm just working with text now. We'll look at adding an image and adding a movie shortly. Okay, so now you see that there's this one footnote marker, and if I click that footnote marker, it will actually move down. If the page is long, it will scroll down and it will show me what the footnote is. So typically you would actually give the source. So when you write some piece of text, you indicate the source from which you're writing that text. and that source would be formatted in the style that you like. There are things called templates which will help you follow a standard format for how to add references. So I can show you how a template looks like. Maybe we can go and change a real article. Any article suggestions that we can think of? Any suggestions for an article that we should edit and where we have a definite addition that we can make? Kashmir. Okay, let's see if we can do a non-controversial edit here.
Excuse me, in the meantime, you spoke about a few tags here, ref tag, ref close and ref open. Where do you find this information about it? Yeah, which tag to use and this?
Yeah, so you can work it out from the help pages. Okay, you can also go to a well-developed article and look at how that article is done, and you can experiment with it. So for instance, let's look at this article. Okay, let's see if there's any reference tag. So you can see that there's a footnote here. Okay, when I click this footnote, it goes right down to the bottom. Okay, and it tells me that it's actually Imperial Gazetteer of India. And I can go back to the place, I think it was somewhere here, yeah. And so I can see how this editor got that footnote in place. So I can go and click this edit of this section, and it says they have clan names known as crumbs. So let me just look for that text and see what's the markup there. So you can go and see how a particular page, how it looks and how it's actually scripted. So I can see over here, so I can see that this is how it was done. So once you see it, you can copy the same idea. So you don't really have to remember these things. You go through, and some of these things you don't pick it up in one day, so it takes time. So you start off with adding some basic content, and then you progress level by level.
There are no, like, you have JavaScript for bold and italics. There are no such thing for creating sections, direct buttons or something.
Spell sheet.
You're right. There are lots of things that are not very user friendly at the moment, and I think things are being done to make it more look like a typical Word document where you can just see how it looks at the end product. So there is something called a WYSIWYG editor somewhere. You can, if you go to My Preferences, and you can choose. Unfortunately, many of these things require higher bandwidth. So at the current state, these things don't work very well unless you have broadband. So many of these were made backward so as to support users who are who are not in great bandwidth. Okay, so if you look at this preferences, you can actually go and there's a gadgets here. I think you can choose something called, you can see these editing tools. So you can go to this WikiEd, a full-featured integrated text editor, and I think there is something called a WYSIWYG editor.
I have a very basic question. There seem to be, you graduate to different level of editing, right? Like when you start off and then you move on. So they talk about, in the introduction manual, they talk about something minor and major edits. So can you elaborate a bit on that and what exactly it includes?
So let's just go back to that Kashmir article. Okay. If you read through a piece of text, like let's try reading this. In the 1901 census of the British Indian Empire, Muslims constituted 74.16% of the total population of the princely state of Kashmir and Jammu, where Gujar Muslims constitute 20% population. Hindus 23%. It says Hindus, 23%, and Buddhists, 1.21%. So maybe I don't know if this is correct, but maybe I don't like this statement, and I would like to make it constitute 20% of the population. Okay, and I want to say Hindus 23% without a comma, and Buddhist 1.21. So I'll go and click here. What I'm doing is only changing the formatting, the commas, and so that's a minor change. So what I would do typically is I'd go there and I would say Muslims constituted 74.16 of the total, where Gujar Muslims constitute 20% of the population. Okay, I just make a minor, and I remove this comma here. If there are any grammar gurus out here, maybe you can tell me if I've got this wrong. This is using an American style serial comma, so there's a comma and then an and Buddhist 1.2% of the, or maybe I shouldn't write multiple times, and so I keep the last of the population. Okay, so I've got something here which now I'm going to call this as a minor edit. Okay, this double bracket means there's an internal link. Okay, now typically this would happen in an article. The first time the word is mentioned, you hyperlink it. So probably here the Buddhist is being mentioned for the first time. So it may not be right for me to bracket it. Okay, so I'll just do this small edit. So this is a minor edit. Okay, so I scroll down and I say it's a minor edit, and I'll say wording and commas, okay, and I save. So in all probability my edit will remain. Now if I did something more interesting, like I go and change the percentages, like I say instead of 20% I said 80%, then chances are my edit will be reverted. So someone else will say like, this guy is a vandal and he's trying to push, the original source doesn't say so, but we are altering the content. That would be a major edit. Okay, and typically what would happen is another editor would notice that this article has changed. Okay, this is because this article would be in that person's watch list, and maybe tomorrow he wakes up, is somebody who's very keen about watching the Kashmir issue, and he keeps track of this article every day. He's going to look at his watch list and see that some unknown editor with a funny name has come and done an edit over here, and he says it's a minor edit. Okay, so if you look at this, there's a little mark here saying M, which says that's a minor edit, and I know who imagine that this new person who's looking at the Kashmir article, he comes and sees this, and he's going to see what did this person do, and you can check the version here, the previous version and this version, and click on compare selected revisions, and I can see what this editor did. Okay, so that's what this editor did. So the original text was 20% population, and it's become constitute 20% Hindus. Okay, so you can see that this is what the new text is. So you can compare the two, and if you're happy, you leave this edit alone, and if you're unhappy, you can actually go and say, you see this little button here saying undo. So someone else might come and hit this undo, and it'll just go back to the older version. So all version history is maintained. So if an article goes through multiple edits, and typically it improves. But in between, if somebody goes and messes it up, you just go back to the previous version and then continue starting. So there is this backup of every version retained, and you can compare the difference between any two versions. Okay, so this is one of the key features of Wikipedia.
So we just keep writing any wiki article, right? And after submitting it, just get published. Is that so? So who is auditing my edits?
Anybody.
So anybody can edit. Anybody can audit.
So everybody who's got his eye on this article is acting as a peer reviewer. So they go and look at it, and if I have cited a new source, they might go and look it up, and if they find that this source is not available, they might take it to the article discussion. So sometimes you go, and more serious debates might happen on the article's discussion page. So associated with every article, you'll see a tab there called discussion. So it's a good idea to go and see the discussion page, because if you see someone raising eyebrows about certain sections not being well written, etc., then you know that this article is actually not up to the standards.
Just a peer review or audit, there is no hierarchical that this category would be audited by this particular person.
No. Anybody is a peer reviewer. Everybody is a peer reviewer. Okay, so let's look at this. So let's look at what's happening on this edit. So you can see that there's enormous amount of discussion happening on this discussion page. So let's look at, for instance, somebody saying the following reference was placed in the article chapter year. It's interesting, but it does not account for the statement it was placed after. So people are keeping an eye on what's the referencing, and people are doing second checks. So when you cite a source, they are going to go and look at the source and see if what is written is right. And more importantly, there are, you heard about good articles and featured articles. So when you suggest an article to go through what's called a good article review, then you get lots of eyeballs coming and looking up the article, seeing whether it follows all the prescribed standards. So the prescribed standards are, is every statement in the article sourced? Does it come from a reliable secondary or tertiary source? So there are people who will do this. It's a kind of a hobby for some people who just like to review other people's articles. They'll also look at the language. They'll see the structure of the article, whether it's going from generics to specifics, or whether it's an article shouldn't be a piece of bunch of trivia placed in a scattered way, whether it's sectioned appropriately. So these things happen in a good article review. So as an editor progresses and takes interest in a particular article, they will sometimes take it to what's called a good article review. So if there's a place called good article notifications. So you can see what articles are currently being sent for good article review. And there are people who just take up this job of just reviewing articles. So there are multiple roles that ordinary people can do. It's not just contributing. That's not the only role. You, even as a reader, you're contributing. When you read and find a defect and you notice the defect and either fix it or point it out, you're making a valuable contribution to Wikipedia. Okay, so here's a good articles that are currently being discussed. And let's look at, say, war and military. So each article is recommended by the key editor who wants to take care of getting this article into this good article status. And if you look at some of them, they will be under review.
Is there any way to understand which topics are most popular than others?
There is a way to find out how many visitors are going to a particular page. So if you go to, say, Kashmir again, you can go to the view history, and you can go over here. There's this page view statistics. So if you hit this page view statistics, you can see that every day there's about 2,500 people looking at this article. Okay. You can you can change the month and look back at any point of time. And actually sometimes you get very interesting spikes when there's a news report related to Kashmir. You'll see lots of people going and looking at this up. And this also gives you an idea of how well it's been kind of reviewed. If lots of people are visiting that article, chances are it's in much better shape. Either it's been tagged as being bad, or it has been made good. And you can also see how many people are keeping an eye on this article. So you won't know who's keeping an eye, but you can tell how many people are having this article in their watch list. So there are 241 editors on Wikipedia who have Kashmir watch listed. So 241 people will know that I did an edit today. Okay, and they are going to review that edit. So if you have more watchers, it means that that article is kind of more peer reviewed. Okay. Okay. So we'll come to the image and video question. So how are images added to Wikipedia? So the first principle is you have to know about what's copyright. So for instance, I might take a picture of the hall in which we are staying and I might upload it to Wikipedia, and I need to release it under a free license. So according to copyright laws around the world, the moment I take a photograph, it's copyrighted. Even if it's a trivial object like a piece of chalk, I take this photograph, it's copyrighted. And I don't need to apply for copyright. But if I wanted to share this on Wikimedia Commons, which is a sister site to Wikipedia. So normally you don't upload images to the English Wikipedia or the Marathi Wikipedia. You upload it to a site called commons.wikimedia.org. So the advantage of having images over here is that you can use the same image across multiple language Wikipedias. Okay, so here you will need to create a login on this site, and you can't upload a file unless you are logged in. Okay, so here you'll already find lots of images. So you can upload an image. I think I'll skip uploading an image in this session. What I'll see is whether we can find an image and use it. So you were talking about dance moves. So let me just see if there is any existing. Is there any particular dance that you're looking at? Yeah. So what you can do in that case is you get one of your volunteers to stand in that particular pose or to do the movement. Take a recording. Nowadays digital cameras can take MP3. And one of the requirements on Wikimedia is you use formats that are open source. So MP3 unfortunately is patented algorithms used for compressing MP3. So you have to convert it to non-patented format. So you will find that there's something called OGG Vorbis. So if you get hold of software to convert, so either it's you have MPEG or MOV or some other format, you convert it. So you may need some expertise, or you should find somebody who has that expertise, or you can upload it on another site and ask on certain help forums within Wikimedia Commons. There are people who will help you convert it and upload it. You can also upload it to Flickr, mark it as Creative Commons. You can upload it to Picasa. So you can upload it to any site, and if you tag it under Creative Commons, non-attribution, but not with the restriction that it is for non-commercial use only. That is, in Wikipedia, you need to allow for any use, including commercial use.
Sir, I have one question. I have contributed many images to Wikipedia. Mainly, the contributions pertain to autographs of celebrities from my family collection. Initially, I faced one problem. There was an objection that you cannot upload images, though they may be autographed, because do you have the copyright of the images? So then I uploaded autographs without images.
What's the meaning of autograph without images?
Without images, that is not. First, I had uploaded autograph photos.
Okay.
Then just autographs without photos. Now, the problem what I face is in the English Wikipedia, I had tried to insert the autographs in the info box. There is an option called signature. There was some objection by one user who is more known by the user ID off2rio.com.
Okay.
And he said that adding autographs to signatures is not accepted. So then there was also a discussion on the
Adding autographs to the photographs is
no, not autograph. That's a different issue. Autograph will be as the signature.
Okay.
So what happened was, in one go he undid whatever I had edited. And today I am surprised that supposing if you check the article on Tudor Argesi, Tudor Argesi.
Can you spell that again, please?
Tudor.
Yeah.
Space ARG.
ARG.
ARG. HEZI.
Tudor Argesi.
Yeah.
Can you spell it again? Did I get it wrong?
Tudor.
Tudor.
Okay.
You go down to the info box.
Right.
You will find one autograph.
Yes.
Check it.
Okay. I don't really have a specific reply to it. There could be discrimination in particular cases because of a track history of people from certain places having a lack of knowledge of copyrights, and a lot of copyright violation is done around the world.
One more objection one person had raised. More he is known by the legal name EAHM.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter.
The objection he raised was, when you upload the autographs, now whose work should you refer? Like supposing if you have cited the example, supposing you are taking the photograph of chalk piece.
Yeah.
You say it's your listing work. Or supposing if you scan somebody's autograph.
Correct. So all these things are covered in copyright laws, and they vary enormously across countries. So for instance, I uploaded a picture of a statue taken in a public park in Oslo, and according to Norwegian law, you are allowed to take photographs of images in public and use it for non-profit purposes. But if I use it for commercial purposes, it's not valid. So they deleted all my images on Wikimedia Commons. In India, we have something called freedom of panorama. So I can go and take a photograph of this building. It's in a public place, and I can take a picture, and it's copyright free. I can't take another person's photograph, however, and upload it. If it's taken by me, I own the copyright, I give it. The same building, someone else photographs it, it's their copyright. Because they are taking a three-dimensional object and a particular two-dimensional image of that.
In this particular case, there was a discussion on the notice board. And initially I very actively participated in the discussion. But thereafter, when this person, Dan, he raised the objection that whose work is it? So then I kept silent. But when I see other autographs that have been uploaded, the users have just said that this is my work. And the same work is there in on.
Yeah, the kind of oversight on various things is not uniform for everyone. This is a known issue. We'll take this copyright issue offline, okay, if you don't mind. It's not part of the core how to edit Wikipedia. Okay, so in terms of the video, so once you upload the video, you can then go to an article on Bharatanatyam, write about it, and you can embed the image inside the article. So that there are tags called file tag. You just use 2 square brackets, file, and then the file name. It could be either okay, yeah, so there are lots of copyright gurus in the audience and outside also. So I think we should have a session on it, but probably not here. So in terms of adding image, so you can